Welcome back everyone to the 11.18 edition of the most OP off-meta champs and builds. Each champion or setup we feature is extremely strong in the current meta, while the majority of the player base have yet to catch on. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because it really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, then you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video, or click the link in the description for a special discount. Sylas top lane has seen his fleet footwork rune page re-emerge after the buffs from 11.17. Many pro players are running fleet on Sylas, while the average solo queue player continues to use conk. Fleet enables you to survive early game much easier and scale towards your level 9 to where you can begin taking over. First couple levels are where Sylas can run into issues, especially against ranged top laners, so running Fleet will offer more value than Conqueror. Your trading pattern early in lane with Sylas revolves around quick burst spell rotations, so Conqueror isn't as useful in those scenarios. Everfrost and Cosmic Drive completion are so key for Sylas, so reaching that spike as quickly as possible is vital. The complete rune page is Fleet with Presence of Mind, Tenacity, and Last Stand. You'll take Inspiration Secondary with Biscuits and Cosmic Insight. The full build is Everfrost Rush, Cosmic Drive second, and Zhonya's third. Although Jayce is nerfed in 11.18, a build giving him some life back that pros are abusing is picking up Ghostblade second. Only 6% of Jayce players are slotting Ghostblade in this position, while many pros are taking full advantage. Added haste to Ghostblade is exactly what Jayce wants, as he's a spell-casting fighter. Being able to spam out those QE combos more often adds extra power to your mid-game spike. Active move speed from Ghostblade is a huge benefit as well, as it allows you to reposition and space so much easier. Tack on Phase Rush as your keystone, and your ability to zoom in and out of fights adds way more potency to your hammer form. The complete build is Eclipse Rush into Ghostblade second and Manamune third. Be sure to grab a tier on your first recall and continue to sit on it until your Manamune purchase. Rune page is Phase Rush with Mana Flow, Absolute Focus, and Gathering Storm. Roll with Freeboots and Biscuits for secondaries. A niche rune setup that's become extremely potent after its buffs this patch is Predator on Singed. Many high elo Singed 1-tricks have been running Predator even before the buffs, so don't sleep on it for 11.18. Singed in general is very underrated this patch, as his ultimate saw a massive buff to where any damage he deals when it's active will apply grievous wounds. Move speed ramp on Predator was increased from 45% over 1.5 seconds to 60% over 1 second. With Predator active and Singed ultimate running, it'll be nearly impossible to prevent him from reaching his target. Solo queue is all about finding those picks when the enemy is caught out of position, and this buff enables that greatly. Full rune page is Predator, followed by Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Relentless Hunter. For secondaries, pick up Nimbus Cloak and Celerity. Standard Singed build is Rylai's Rush into Riftmaker second and Demonic Embrace third. Rocket Belt Rush is another great option and adds to your catch potential, so you can try both out and see which you prefer. A new setup for Graves that has shot up in popularity amongst Korean pro players is a Ghostblade Rush with Fleet Footwork as the keystone. Dark Harvest Graves was most popular in 11.16, but as a result of the fleet buffs, has fallen in priority. Ghostblade as a rush item is the most undervalued strategy in the game on so many AD champs in 11.18. As a relatively cheap purchase at 2,900 gold with an active that gives you amazing playmaking potential, it's the perfect solo queue pickup. Snowballing an advantage and rolling over your opponent when you have a lead is really key, and Ghostblade enables that. Second item can be pretty spicy as well. Canyon has been running a couple of Ghostblade and Gale Force for the ultimate catch and mobility setup. You can also go full out lethality and pick up an Eclipse second, which is the more popular option. Both builds are giving the limited players who have caught on insane carry potential right now, so look to hop on the train before it picks up steam. Rune page is Fleet Footwork with Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. Run Absolute Focus and Water Walking for secondaries. If you remember earlier on in the season, Predator Lillia was very popular among pros, so with the buffs in 11.18, you can look to abuse it once again. What makes Predator Lillia so strong is the ability for you to position yourself and find perfect angles for multi-man ult plays. The added movement speed allows you to pull the trigger as soon as you see someone on the enemy team caught out of position. Finding picks with ultimate are what make Lillia such a highly impactful option, so by running Predator, those plays can happen more often. Follow up Predator with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Ultimate Hunter. Secondaries are from the Inspiration Tree, running Perfect Timing and Cosmic Insight. Core build is a Liandry's Rush into Zhonya's second and Demonic Embrace third. For a quick question of the day, which champion or build do you think is the most underrated for the current meta? Is there something flying under the radar that you think we're missing? Let us know down in the comments below. The most OP off-meta mid laner for 11.18 is without a doubt Pyke. Pyke is another champ who can take advantage of the buffed Ghostblade along with Umbral Glaive, which in turn has led to a massive spike in strength. Forget about your mythic item, as Ghostblade is so much stronger as a rush. Pyke mid's whole identity revolves around his crazy strong map impact, and Ghostblade move speed amplifies that even further. W movement speed combined with Ghostblade active will allow you to storm through river and show up to bot lane in a matter of seconds. Adding an Umbral Glaive into your build path will allow for insane vision control, which will force the enemy to face check into you. Ghostblade and Umbral have a combined cost of 5,300 gold, which is super cheap. If you're snowballing early on, you'll hit that core build in under 20 minutes. Compare this to a standard AD carry build of Kraken into the Collector, which is 6,400 gold, and you can see how much faster you're able to hit a mid-game spike. Core build you'll want to run is Ghostblade into Umbral Glaive 2nd and Duskblade 3rd. For runes, pick up Halo Blades with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Ultimate Hunter. Secondaries will be Second Wind and Unflinching. Another mid laner you need to be spamming the buffed Umbral Glaive on is Qiyana. Look to run the exact build as we mentioned for Pyke, which is Ghostblade Rush into Umbral 2nd. Qiyana has a very similar playstyle to Pyke mid in the sense that you want to be shoving and looking for opportunities around the map. Ghostblade active enables you to roam quicker, while Umbral Glaive passive is perfect for an assassin like Qiyana. If you're able to deny the enemy team vision, then they're forced to run into you, and with how impactful Qiyana can be from the Fog of War, Umbral is an insanely underrated pickup. Look to set up around objectives about 1 minute before they spawn. Make sure opponents have no vision thanks to Umbral, and then be patient for an enemy squishy to walk by. Strike when they walk in alone, give your team a 5v4 advantage, and transition that pick into free objectives. So, complete core build is Ghostblade into Umbral Glaive and Prowler's Claw 3rd, run Electrocute as the keystone with Sudden Impact, Eyeball Collector, and Ravenous Hunter. Precision secondary with Presence of Mind and Last Stand are most optimal. Senna AD carry was just recently buffed, and combined with a new build popping up has turned her into one of the most underrated marksmen. The build is very unique, as you'll want to rush Manamune into a Ghostblade 2nd and Rapid Fire Cannon 3rd, a mythicless build with a massive mid-game spike. Once you have Manamune stacked, you're able to spam out abilities and deal a crazy amount of damage. By running Glacial Augment as the keystone and having the Ghostblade active available, Senna's kiting power is on a whole nother level. One of Senna's main issues is the fact that she lacks a gap closer and can therefore be picked off more easily, so extra movement speed helps her out tremendously. The haste addition on Ghostblade is great too, as it allows you to spam Q out more often, which you can do without any mana troubles thanks to Manamune. Combine Glacial with Free Boots, Biscuits, and Approach Velocity for primary runes. Secondaries will be Presence of Mind and Alacrity. T1 AD carry Gumayusi has been running a lethality setup on his Misfortune, and with MF ult buff in 11.18, it becomes even stronger. Crit is by far the most popular Misfortune build, but lethality is winning the most and flying heavily under the radar. Core build Gumayusi has been abusing is Ghostblade Rush into Eclipse 2nd and Manamune 3rd. It really shouldn't be much of a secret anymore as to how broken Ghostblade is, however the majority of solo queue players have yet to adapt. Gumayusi picks up Tear as his starting item to spam E out in lane and scale into his mid-game spike faster. You'll want to start E level 1, but don't max it out until last. Q max into W 2nd is still the way to go. Once you've got Youmuu's and Eclipse completed, the extra safety net you have is such a perk for MF. Just like Senna, you lack a gap closer, so movement speed from Ghostblade and the shield from Eclipse helps to keep you super safe. The rune page you'll want to run is Comet with Mana Flow, Absolute Focus, and Scorch. Dip into Domination for secondaries, running Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter. Final build we have for you guys today is one that gives Pantheon support a lot more viability, being an Umbral Glaive Rush. Majority of Pantheon players are rushing Eclipse, while Umbral is the better first purchase after its cost reduction. If paired with an aggressive ADC, you have an excellent chance of snowballing extremely hard in lane. Once you've won lane, your goal should be to try and spread that lead by roaming to other lanes. By rushing Umbral Glaive, you can do this way more efficiently, as you'll always know if you've ran over a ward. Closing out games before 30 minutes are so important when playing Panth, as he loses a lot of value in late game teamfights. This makes Umbral such a key component, as controlling vision and finding as many picks as possible to extend your lead is essential to your success. Complete build is Umbral Rush into Eclipse 2nd and Chempunk Chainsword 3rd. Best rune page is Press the Attack with Triumph, Tenacity, and Coup de Grace. Optimal secondaries are Cheap Shot and Relentless Hunter. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent Challenger players into ELO Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $4.99 a month if you are serious about improving. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you back soon.